You recording? Okay, wicked. I'm Dub FX, and I'm going to introduce the new loop stations by Boss Roland. We got the RC30 and the RC3. If you know anything about the previous models, these are very next level. They've added a whole new bunch of features. You got USB in, and which means you can basically put any audio you want inside the pedals, or you can save loops that you've made and put them into your computer. You've also got stereo in, stereo out. And on the RC30, you've got two faders, two tracks. The old one only had one track, meaning you can have two separate channels. So you can make a beat on one and harmonies and bass lines on the second one and turn each one off and mix them however you like. And it's also got loop effects, meaning that you can put effects over the entire loop. And after all of this, you got 3 hours of looping time, so you never run out of space on the loop station. You can just keep looping forever. You can keep saving things forever. So enough talking, I'll show you basically how I use the pedals. So I'm going to start with the RC30. Using the GT10B as my effects pedal, that's what my mic's going into. All the effects you're going to hear like this, is all coming from this pedal here. I'm not going to use any pre-programmed music. Everything's going to be made live on the spot. I should just reset this just in case. All right. So there's my first loop. I'm going to select track 2 now. So I've looped track 1, now I'm going to do track 2, and I'm going to put some harmonies. So now basically, I've got track 2, I can turn that off whenever I like. I can select track 1 and turn that off. Now I'm going to put a bass line on track 1 as well now, okay? All right.
Let the rhythm come straight from your hips, and I let the fire come straight from your lips, and I let you cooler with the flow in the fit. Your fire just so sweet, I rip at the bitch, cause I'm a
motivator when it comes to the floor. Just drop the rhythm, everything is secure. Can ya?
I let you lost over power romance, get your foot to the ground now.
And now, so let the rhythm come straight from your hips, and let the fire come straight from your lips, and let you cooler with the flow in the fit. A fire just so sweet, I rip at the bitch, cause I'm a motivator when it comes to the floor. Drop the rhythm, everything is secure. Let your lost over power romance, get your foot to the ground. Get ready to So there you go. That's just one way that you can use this pedal. Thank you. Basically, I used it with a line in coming from the effects pedal, but you've also got an XLR input with a phantom power in there. So you can put a condenser microphone in there, you can put your guitar in there, and you can loop all sorts of various things. Moving on to the RC3, it's basically a smaller entry-level version of the same thing. Same inputs, same outputs, USB. But it's got one track. You can only record one thing. However, it's not that limiting either. I can show you now. I'm going to make the same kind of thing using the effects pedal again, just looping with this. All right, so. First beat. So it kind of sounds exactly like the last loop that I made. Another cool thing that you can do is, even though you've only got one track to keep building up on top of, the last thing that you looped, you can take away. So in this case, it was that high-pitched sound. If I hold down the pedal, I undo. Down the pedal, and it's gone. If I want to bring it back in, I shouldn't have been talking while I was undoing, because if I do that, it comes back again. Down the pedal, and by stopping it, just by double pressing the pedal. So you can do all sorts of crazy stuff. Obviously, it's not as sophisticated as the RC30, but still, it's a very powerful pedal indeed. Once again, like I was saying earlier, you got USB, so now that I've made that loop and I can save it in there, I can then just connect that to my computer and I can dump the WAV files, 44.1 kilohertz, straight into my computer, and I can use them to sample, to do whatever I like with. Or to go the other way around, I could make a backing track in a program like Sonar or whatever, and then just dump that into the loop station and use it as a playback, which I can still loop on top of. So there's plenty of different things that you can do with that. So yeah, that's the RC3 and the RC30. I'm DubFX. Thank you for listening. Oh yeah, sorry. So that memory-wise, you got 3 hours in each. So yeah, you got basically plenty of time that you can do. Same amount of memory, exactly. They're both stereo in, stereo out. Yeah, so you got plenty of things that you can do with it. You're welcome. Okay. Exactly. Well, it basically just calculates it, because a BPM comes down to beats per minute, right? BPM. So what happens is from the second you press record to the second you end the loop, it analyzes how long that is. So if it's 10 seconds, it figures out how many beats per minute that is, and it just comes in. So it just sorts it out from the first thing that you loop. The other cool thing, I mean, the model above, I mean, this is the RC3, the RC30, you got the RC50, which has got a MIDI output. This doesn't have a MIDI output, meaning you can sync the MIDI clock to an effects pedal, which is what I do in my live show. I don't use these pedals, I use the next one. And that means all my delays are in sync. So the first beat that I make, all my delays, everything, all the oscillators, everything, LFOs, it all kind of, oscillates in time. All right. Thank you, ZioMusic. I'm DubFX. Take it easy. Peace.